Welcome to the Academic Writing Amplified podcast. On this podcast, we believe that the culture of academia needs to change radically. Women and non-binary people are revolutionizing academia within institutions that were not built for us. If you're ready to reject the culture of overwork, kick guilt and overwhelm to the curb, and amplify your voice to make a real impact on your field without breaking down or burning out, you're in the right place. With our team of experienced writing coaches as co-hosts, we'll share insights and talk to inspiring guests to bring you the practical strategies, systems, and mindset shifts you need to find time to write, publish work you love, and design your career on your terms. And it all starts with writing. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. It's Kathy Mazak, and I'm back today live because I have really exciting news, and I just can't wait to share it with you. So you might have, if you've been watching the YouTube videos, if you've been listening to the podcast, if you're on our email list, you know that we are enrolling for a 12-week pilot version of our core program, which is called Navigate Your Writing Roadmap. Now, the reason that I wanted to go live today and talk about it was to give you all the details. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can listen in your car. And if it's something you've been wanting to check out, you're going to hear today, all the details about it. Now, I'll say that we're a little overwhelmed with the response. So originally we were looking for about 10 women or non-binary professors at any career stage to join our Navigate program. And we were like, maybe we'll get 10, maybe we'll get 20. We've gotten almost 90 applications. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the response. And I will say that, what we're going to do is we're going to enroll the program. We will have, we already have 4 people enrolled. So I feel pretty confident we'll get to 10. If we get over about 20 or 24, then we will decide what to do. So don't worry, you won't be in a cohort of 50 people. We will figure out an alternative plan, whether we break that Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern time into 2 sections with 2 different coaches or whatever we do. Don't worry, we will be taking care of you during our Navigate 12-week pilot. And the reason that I wanted to say that is because part of the program that's really, really important is indeed that we will be taking care of you. The coaching and the direct contact with the coach, and in the pilot program, the direct contact with me as well, because I'll be in there with Gina. If not every day, not every meeting, most of the meetings, watching what happens and getting to know you all. So as we, make this switch from Navigate Your Writing Roadmap as a year-long program to a 12-week program. So I'm going to give you all the details here, and then I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions. And that's going to be the video for today / podcast episode. So we are looking for women and non-binary professors at any career stage who, okay, here's the qualifiers, have published at least 1 article in a peer-reviewed journal. Okay, so you have to have published an article in a peer-reviewed journal, and you have too much data for the amount of time that you have to write it up. Or you're sitting on 3 or more article drafts in various stages of done. And what I mean by that is that you might have an outline or just a few paragraphs. You might have a couple sections written. You might have, if you're a science writer, maybe all you have is figures. But you have 3 or more of those sitting around. So this is either a ton of data or a bunch of drafts or, started articles. And this is really, really important. One of those needs to be what we call an almost done article. Now, you all know what the almost done article is deep down in your soul. It's that one that you're like, I've been putting it off. It just needs a few hours, but you're kind of avoiding it. That article or a book chapter of a similar, amount of done. So we're talking about something that has 50 to 80% of words on the page when we say an almost done article. or book chapter in this case. So you need one of those. You need to have one of those. We're only taking people who have that. And that's like a really important thing to know. So, and the reason is I'm going to get to when I talk about the curriculum. Okay. And then the other qualifier or quality of somebody that we're looking for is that you are looking for an accelerated way to clear your publication pipeline, maybe before you take on like your next big project, like if you're preparing your dossier for promotion, if you're going on the job market, if you're submitting a grant. So if you're like kind of looking, if you got like a backed up publication pipeline and you're looking for a way to clear it out, then though that is another, we are looking for you. We want you to join Navigate. So we have been running our Navigate Your Writing Roadmap program for over 5 years, and we have helped over 500 academics write more and publish more through that program. And it's taken on a ton of different forms. When I first released it in the summer of 2017, it was really like a digital course. And so it was kind of self-study, and it's taken on various kind of iterations of self-study plus other stuff. We've done group coaching in it in the past, never like we're doing it now. The latest version of it had a bunch of other like co-writing and mindset calls and all of these other things in it that lasted over a year. And we have been looking to update this program. And here's what we decided to do. What we decided to do was take that core Navigate content that's helped, like I said, over 500 academics, and make it fit into 12 weeks. And the way that we make it fit into 12 weeks is by using the criteria that we want the course, or we want the program to be both simple and impactful. Okay. Those are our like guiding words for programming this year. Simple and impactful. So we cut a lot from the program that was like extra. Okay. That we were like, let's get this down to the core of what people really need to do. And I'm going to explain what that is. And then we added more contact with coaches. Okay. So we simplified the curriculum. We focused the curriculum. We added a part of the curriculum where we're using basically that almost done article as like a use case. As we go through each of the parts of the program, you're always touching back to that almost done article. So if you've had that article around for a really long time and you've been like, oh, I have to get it out, but this is a great way to move it out the door, because every single week we're going to be like ticking a box on something that needs to happen on that article to get it out the door. Okay. So we are going to touch that article every week for 12 weeks. And we think that that means that at the end of the program, which for this round is going to be May 10th or so, you will be submitting that article. Okay. So that's how we kind of change the curriculum. I'll give you more details in a second. So I've been calling this a 12-week Navigate pilot. The reason it's a pilot is because we've never done it in this format before. And we wanted to express to people who were registering that you're going to have a different experience from the next time we run it, because this is the first time we're doing it this way. There's a lot more kind of eyes on the program. So not only Gina, who is our head coach, who will be running, the main person creating and running the coaching calls, but also myself and also Carla, our program director, we're all going to be there. We're all going to be on the calls. We're all going to be making sure that this program is delivering on what we promised and helping you in every way that we can. What we want is to see if what we think is going to happen happens. And that means that those participating in this pilot are just going to get like more attention from more people in the company, as we really try to like tweak and perfect this program. So that's why it's called a pilot. So at the end of the program, here are some of the things that you will have. Okay. You're going to have a clearly articulated academic mission statement and a process for using it to guide your decision making to rein in overwhelm and leverage your time. So you might have heard me before talk about the academic mission statement. We will write one. We will have a coaching call about it so that if you're confused or lost or conflicted, which totally happens during the mission statement writing process, because, you're trying to articulate something that you've never articulated before. You're trying to do something new. That pull of all, like that feeling pulled in 1,000 directions thing is happening in your brain while you're trying to write that mission statement that's going to pull you in one direction. So that's why we wanted to add coaching around that, right? We want you to be able to work through that with a coach. You'll also have a mapped out publication pipeline, which serves as a high-level project plan for your publication submissions over the next year. So even though you're going to be, like touching back and refining the pipeline throughout the year, I see the publication pipeline as a high-level project plan. It is where you are like orchestrating all the writing projects that are on your plate. You will also have a process for breaking writing projects into tasks and completing those tasks in a powerfully predictable way. So one of the things that's been evolving in our teaching and training and coaching around academic writing and publishing is that we are developing and continue to develop methods for you to learn more about what works for you and do more of that. So rather than hand you a pre-made system and then have some of you say, well, this system doesn't work for me, we are going to guide you through the process of creating your own system. So yes, we're still going to talk about soaring state. We're still going to talk about how you use co-writing and all of these things. But it really is going to have a lot to do with, like we say, collecting data on yourself, right? And seeing how long it takes you to do things, what level of granularity is motivating for you in terms of breaking down tasks. So yeah, like it's really more personalized, and it's something that is, the goal is a very sustainable writing practice. Another thing you will end up with is a mission-driven plan for time management that ensures time to think and write, okay, both thinking and writing. And you will publish or you will submit one or more of your low-hanging fruit or almost done articles by the end of the 12-week session. So it's possible if you got stuff that's close enough to done that you might submit more than one by the end of the 12 weeks. So here's the 4 main kind of parts of the curriculum. The first is all about pipeline. We're going to design the pipeline. We're going to talk about what a pipeline is. You're going to, create yours. And in the process, you're going to make sure that almost done article that you're thinking of is the one that you want to work on. So it's a process. There's a vetting process in there. There's a making sure that this is really what you want to do. And creating that big high level plan for the year for your publishing. And then we will work on project prediction, which is, breaking a project into tasks, project managing your writing, project managing your pipeline, and all of that. So you're really going to take that almost done article, and we're going to give you a bunch of stuff to do with it so that you are, ready to move it forward. Then we're going to write the mission statement. It's different than the order we've done it before. We're going to see how it works. We think that going from kind of like big picture, then narrower, and then back out again is going to be a really effective strategy. So we will see. But in the mission, when you learn the mission method, you write your academic mission statement, and then you hold up all of your academic activities through a process of analysis. We use rubrics. We give you rubrics and take you through this process that's going to help you kind of cull away the things that aren't aligned with your mission. And then finally, that creation of the sustainable writing system, which we call a soaring system, is kind of the last big part of the curriculum. Now, we're going to deliver this curriculum over 12 weeks. Every week on Monday, there will be a video module that also is available as an audio private podcast. There's the audio version. You don't have to sit at your computer and watch the video. You could also just listen to it. So you'll get a video, a handout, so some kind of, something you can print out, or we'll make it like a fillable PDF that you have to work through. So like a workbook page kind of thing that goes with that video. Something to do with your, an assignment or guide questions or something that's going to help you move that almost done article out the door. And then, and that's what will drop into our learning management system every Monday. Then on Friday and right now the calls are Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So that's New York City time. We will have an hour-long call with a coach. Okay. So Coach Gina is busily creating these coaching calls. And sometimes the call will be a coaching call. Like, for example, when we work on mission statement, there's a coaching call that week. Other calls will be co-writing calls. So basically what we're asking you to do is hold the hour from 11 a.m. to 12 noon every Friday, Eastern time for our program. Okay. To participate in the program. So what happens during that hour depends on the week. It depends on what we're working on in the curriculum, but every week you will have interaction with your coach during that time. If we're doing co-writing, which is where we get on the Zoom and we mute and everybody's working, you put your goals in the chat and you work, you will be able to pull the coach out for any questions that you have. So that's how we're going to run it this time. We might, adapt a little, like we might have a 15-minute Q&A at the beginning and then 45 minutes of writing. Like we're going to play a little bit with, that's why it's a pilot, right? With different ways of making sure that you have time or opportunity to ask your coach a question during the co-writing call. So some people are quietly writing, and then you could break out into a room with the coach for a question, and then you both come back. So we just don't want anybody to get stuck. And so we want to have these like interaction points or like touch points with you every single week. All right. So what else do I want to tell you about? All right. So the modules, the coaching / co-writing, that's all that's in the program. There's no, like, for those of you who have known me for a while, if you've been in some programs that we've now discontinued, or if you've been in programs previously with us, it was like we gave you everything in the kitchen sink. And that was not simple and impactful. So as we strive for simplicity and impact, we are really just, that's it. It's a module drops on Monday, have a call Friday for 12 weeks. Okay. What else? Oh, a question we often get is the Navigate 12-week pilot for any academic at any career stage? And this is a great question because we've been getting grad students who've been applying. We've been getting postdocs applying. As well as, the majority of people who apply are professors, at, assistant, associate, full. So what I want to say is that the curriculum of the program is absolutely designed for professors. Okay. So it's designed for somebody who is in a job where they have some control over their schedule and yeah, like that's who it's designed for. But that doesn't mean that a graduate student or a postdoc couldn't get the result of the program. What's really important is that you meet those criteria that I said at the beginning of this video / podcast. Also, those criteria are in a document, which we'll link up in the description. So that you know. But so it's really like, it doesn't matter so much. So if you're a grad student, so for example, if you're a grad student, you're almost done dissertating, or maybe you're done dissertating, and you're on the, you're in that, like, that stage between like, I'm pretty much done and I'm defending, like whatever, like you're in the middle there somewhere. You have data, you have published a peer-reviewed article, even if it's co-authored with your advisor or something, but you've been through the peer-reviewed article publication process, that's really important, then it's possible that it's a good fit for you. Same with postdoc, right? Like postdocs usually have a ton of of almost done articles because they have their dissertation stuff, they have their postdoc stuff, they have other stuff that they might want to do next. So all of that is great. What we need you to have is things to work on, and we need you to have that almost done article and we need you to have published something before. That's because Navigate is not a program that teaches you how to write an article or teaches you how to write a book chapter. And it's really not a program. This is really, really important. It is not a program that can take you from dissertation chapter to published article. The distance between dissertation chapter and published article is longer than Navigate allows. And we're not teaching that. We're not teaching like how to get to, how to publish your first article. We want you to do that and then come into Navigate. And so you might be a grad student who's like, I have 3 almost done articles because I wrote a dissertation and I have 3 chapters and each one can be an article. It wasn't written to be an article, it was written to be a dissertation. And so, they're almost done. If you haven't actually published an academic article, then no, because the process of taking something that the audience is your committee and making it the audience is peer review and this journal's audience is it's a long distance, and you need to do that before you come into Navigate. Okay. So, and apply later, because we're going to be running this program. If all goes to plan, we will run the program, February, May, September. So those will be the start dates. So another question we get a lot, will this program work for me in my field? Yes, this is field agnostic. So it's true that there is definitely like a big difference between, article that you write in philosophy or history and an article that you write in engineering or biology. But the techniques and things are so, we are guiding you through kind of a process of self-knowing and self-trust and self-discovery. And so it really is a program where we're going to give you guidance. We're going to show you ways. We're going to give you templates and ideas, but you're going to adapt them yourself because you all are super smart. You don't need anybody to spoon feed you anything. Like this is like, we're going to give you the kind of frameworks and you're going to be able to easily adapt them to your specific situation. All right. Another question that we get so much is what's the program time commitment, right? Because all of you, if you meet those criteria, you're busy. Like we know you're busy. So here, let me be like very, very clear and transparent about the time commitment. The lessons that drop on Mondays will be 20 minutes to 45 minutes, like for you to watch or listen to the lesson and do the handout. There's always going to be an activity to do. So to do that, 45 minutes. So look on your calendar. Can you find 45 minutes early in the week, right before Friday, to work on this stuff? Also, please know that you will keep the modules. So we're not going to take the recordings away from you at the end of the 12 weeks. So if there's a week that you can't finish, it's fine. Nobody's like, I'll take it back, right? What we're doing is we're dripping out the content week over week. We're releasing it so that we are trying to set the pace for you, right? But if you can't complete the lesson, just come to the group call. It's totally, totally fine. And we will continue to say that. You will continue to not believe us, but I promise that the program is designed that even if you don't finish the lesson for the week, you can still get a lot of the group call. Okay, so 45 minutes to do the lesson. I would say between 20 and 45 minutes to do the lesson each week, and then an hour each week for the actual group call. So it's easier to come to the group call because it's like you got to show up. It's an hour. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fridays. Like you can block it. Like right now, I'm sure that all of you who are like thinking about doing this program, you're looking at your calendars. You're like, can I come to the group call? Right? That's the first question. Great. You block the group call. Then you got to find another 30, 45 minutes somewhere else in the week that you're going to be able to do the activities. And then we suggest that you spend another 30 or 45 minutes during the week working on that almost done article. Now, sometimes we'll be co-writing, and so you can work on it then. But we're going to ask you to see if you can at least open that article at some other time during the week, so that you are moving it forward. And we're here to support you as you do that. You will have committed your time and your money to the program. So we hope that will be that will make it different than what you're trying to do now, which is that you keep trying to do it, but it gets put to the bottom of the list. When you enroll in a program like this for the cost that it is, which is $4,500 for the 12-week program, you are making a commitment, and that's a commitment to us and a commitment to yourself, right? That you are going to do the program. So that's what we want. We want people who are excited about making that commitment, because that is what it's going to take to solve the problem of these things not getting published, right? And I don't mean that it's not like, it's not a judgment kind of thing. To do something different, you have to do something different, right? To get a different result, you have to do something different. So what you're doing different is joining Navigate, and we're all there to help you. The coach knows what you're working on. The coach, we're traveling the path together with you for 12 weeks. That brings me to another question that I've gotten, which is 12 weeks enough? Right? Like, oh, it seems short. So yes, for some people, 12 weeks will be enough. So for some people, you'll have 12 weeks in the program. You'll learn all these things. You'll take it with you. You'll go off and have, continue to come back to the lessons. You'll continue to experience, development and growth on your own. And that's fantastic. Other people are going to want more support for longer. And for that, we have an alumni program. The alumni program is called SOAR. It includes group coaching, co-writing, and peer review. So we do actually friendly peer review, not scary peer review, right? We look at each other's writing once every other month. We have these peer review sessions. So and mindset coaching. So that all, if you need more help, if you want more support, you can join our alumni program. Some of you will, and some of you won't. Right? Some people will do the 12 weeks and they'll be like, great, I've got it. I can implement by myself, right? Some will be like, okay, I want more support and development as I work over, a longer term. So, let's see what else. Oh, this is a great question that I've been getting. And I think maybe, that's the second to last question. I have one more. So the question I've been getting that's really interesting is a lot of people who have been on our email list for a long time, who have bought my book and read it, who've been great fans of the podcast for years, but have never done any of our programs, are saying well, I've been listening to you for all this time. I know what the mission statement is. I've heard you talk about pipeline on the podcast. Do I really need to spend $4,500 and do a program? Okay. And I will say that is up to you. That question of do you really need it is up to you. And here's a way to find out, right? Are you publishing to the level that you want to be publishing? So some people, just like I said, some people will take the 12-week Navigate and go off and be fine. Some people will listen to the podcast and change their habits and do different things and develop a way and will feel that relief from writing pressure and publication pressure. They'll figure it out without taking a program. If you're asking this question, my question to you is have you solved your writing and publication problem by reading the book, listening to the podcast, and doing things without the coaching component, right? Because this has this coaching component in it, I feel confident that it is offering something very different from the free content that you get on the podcast. It's a curriculum. It's, there's worksheets and workbooks and processes that we're guiding you through. There's peer mentoring and there's coach mentoring. So there's coaching and peer mentoring. And that is different. And it happens in a curriculum over 12 weeks. It's very different from listening to the podcast, even if you've been a fan for a long time. So you can decide, and please, it's up to you. It's an investment, but let me say too, the investment itself, the act of you investing and saying yes, I'm going to do this and I'm going to change now. The investment related to that is one of the things that helps facilitate the change, because nobody's going to be I spent $4,500 and I didn't really do it. right? I mean, like that's the difference. That's why we put coaching in it. That's why it's priced the way it is. We want you to do the program. We want you to do every piece of the program. Obviously, if you miss a week or something is totally fine, and you have all the tools to get back on board, and you have these tools forever, But I don't think anybody's going to like pay $4,500 to be like, meh, I didn't watch the modules and I didn't go to the group calls. So I'm kind of disappointed. Like, yeah, we don't apply if that's your plan. We want people who are like, okay, I understand that the money I'm investing is a commitment to myself and I'm going to do it. Okay. So I love that question about like, but I've been listening to your free stuff. What could really be different? Well, your career could really be different. So, last question, and then I'll be done because it's super long, for a live video. But anyway, should I do this now or should I wait? So I just told you that our plan is to run a May cohort, which will run mid-May. It actually spills into the first week of August. And then another cohort in September through December. Like we're going to see if we can fit it in between Labor Day and Thanksgiving in the US calendar. It almost fits. We'll see what happens. But anyway, basically we're going to continue to run these 12-week sessions, as we refine the curriculum. And we think that it will be very popular this summer, as people are always, trying to get their writing done during the summer. So, should you do this now or should you wait? So again, a couple of things that might influence your decision. If you're like, oh, I'm really excited because Kathy's going to be involved here, that there's going to be more, we're going to really going to be like refining as we go during this pilot. If you like to like, your voice will be heard in changes that we might make to the program to make it better. If that's really appealing to you, if all that's appealing to you, then do it now. And also if you are like, this will set you up for the summer. So yeah, it's great to do a writing program in the summer because you have the idea that I'm going to have all this time, right? Well, the problem is that like you don't have all this time most of the year. Like we want your writing to fit into your career because it's so important. We want it to fit into your career during the semester. So doing this program is going to, make you carve out the time, right? At least you're going to be spending an hour on Fridays and 45 minutes at another time of the week. So it's an hour and 45 minutes on your writing every week consistently as you participate in this program, even during the semester. So if that's something that you would like to establish as a habit, and a practice, then you should do this program during the semester because it like forces you to make that happen. And sometimes when we put constraints on it like that, like it makes us do something that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So I think if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, like definitely do it now. Also, I also am a big proponent of like, if you think this is a solution for you, why would you wait to have your problem solved, right? Like, why would you wait to work on this? You want to get those publications out as soon as possible, not, in 3 months, I'll start doing it, no, like, let's do it now. And so I'm very excited. I'm over the moon that we've had such a great, number of applications and kind of like, people who this program has resonated with. We can't wait to get started. And just thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching, people on YouTube. And I'll be back soon with more video and audio content. So the application to navigate will be in the description of this video or in the description of the podcast. If you have questions, we really encourage you to apply, and then you'll be in conversation with us. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time supporting yourself and your writing by listening to this episode. If you like what you heard today, the best way to say thank you is to hop on over to Apple iTunes and write an honest review. The more reviews, the more amazing academic women and non-binary people will find this podcast. So go write one now.